Welcome to Broadway Corner with Ashley Ha, where you can hear your favorite performers talk about how they got started, their careers, and everything in between. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and Spotify at Broadway Corner with Ashley Ha, and on my main Broadway account at Broadway_Corner on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoy.
This is the lizard boy. This is his story. Somebody learns what's right from wrong. Somebody learns what makes them strong. This is the lizard boy. This is his story of how a loner finds a friend, of how a broken heart can mend, and he dies at the end.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Broadway Corner with Ashley Ha. I am so happy you are here. I know it's been a minute since we've chatted, but thanks for coming back. And we are coming to you from the gorgeous set of Lizard Boy at Speakeasy Stage. Thanks to the great Jim Torres for coordinating today's interview. And today we are talking to the star of Speakeasy Stage's production of Lizard Boy. He plays our favorite boy who looks like a lizard. It's Keiji Ishiguri. Hi, Keiji, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. Doing all right, yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful Friday.
It's
not getting too cold yet.
Nope.
We're like bracing ourselves. But anyway, so excited to have you here and to give you a little background about Keiji. Keiji does it all. He's an actor, musician, singer, multi-instrumentalist, music director, arranger, orchestrator, and teacher. Everything. He is making his Speakeasy debut as Trevor in Lizard Boy, but he was also recently seen making his Broadway debut in Cabaret at the Kit Kat Club, in case you saw that. And a few select regional and tour credits include The Hello Girls, A Charlie Brown Christmas, Cabaret, and Spring Awakening. And he's also a proud founding member of On the Keys production company, which is so cool. Yeah. So it's so nice to meet you. Just how are you doing? How's the run been?
Wow, it is, it's hard to believe we're coming up on halfway through already. So it's quick. It's been going by really fast, but it's been a dream. This is my first show in Boston, along with it being my first show at Speakeasy. And Speakeasy has been an absolute dream to work for. Everyone here is so cool and makes you feel so welcome. And it's just been a fantastic team and a fantastic experience. So
yeah. Is this your first time in Boston?
It's not my first time in Boston.
But like first time really getting to kind of be here.
I came through, my family is from the Boston area actually. So I have cousins in Marblehead and my mom grew up in Weymouth. And so I've been around here. I came through here in 2019 with the Charlie Brown Christmas tour. We actually didn't have a show in Boston, but we spent the night here. I don't know. So I spent Thanksgiving here in 2019, and that was probably the last time I was here. So yeah, not new to Boston, but I haven't really lived here before.
Yeah. No, it's so fun. I'm here for school, and so it's great just getting to kind of explore a new city and see all the food and culture and different things that are always happening. And so before we get to all your amazing credits, can we just talk about like your background, where you grew up, and how you discovered your love for both music and theater?
I grew up right outside of New York City in Westchester County, in a small town called Eastchester, Eastchester, Westchester. And I kind of started playing piano before I could even talk. So music has literally been a part of my life since before I can remember. I got a toy piano for Christmas when I was 2, and my mom saw that I was playing songs on it. So she signed me, I was fortunate enough to be able to take piano lessons starting at a very young age. I had a fantastic piano teacher, like a second dad to me. And I grew up playing a lot of primarily classical music. So I was a classical pianist, did the competition circuit, did all of that before graduating from high school. So I discovered musical theater in high school. I knew I liked to sing. I loved the Phantom of the Opera soundtrack when I was a little kid. I was always running around singing Music of the Night when I was like 5 years old. But it didn't really become a serious passion of mine until high school. I was just trying out a new thing, and kind of instantly found my people in a town where, there weren't too many out queer people. There weren't too many POC people in my town. And so to find a community of, people that were like me but different, was really eye-opening, and being able to step into different characters and do all of that, the typical, love story for actors. It's like, oh, where do I belong? I finally found it. So that happened for me in freshman year of high school. So I did the plays and the musicals, graduated from high school, and I went to Yale for music. Where I did actually primarily focus on music and classical piano. I did a few plays, but mostly on the music directing side. So performing, I was in a cappella groups, so I performed that way. But as an actor, I kind of took a little bit of a hiatus from it during college. And then got back into it after college. So I don't know. We go through whims and different eras of our life. So
it's cool, I think, to be on different sides of the table. Definitely as someone who's an actor who also does like this stuff in media, and like we all have our things that we kind of go between, I guess, to make it more interesting for ourselves. Because if we're just actors all the time, that can get real exhausting.
Ooh, yeah. Yes, it can.
It's like we're always just going. So sometimes it's good to take a break.
Yeah.
But yeah, you talked a little about Yale, which I have some friends at Yale, and so
cool. Nice.
it's a great place,
Yeah.
and just kind of diving straight into music. And obviously Yale, like we said, like has great theater as well. Like how did that shape you and kind of prepare you for a career as both an artist and musician?
My college experience was definitely one where I fended for myself a lot, I will say. So I was in the music program. It was very classical, great. But I feel like it gave me kind of a very narrow exposure to what a career in music or theater could look like. So I did a lot of extracurriculars, and that's where I got most of my, kind of relationships and connections with people. I did a lot of a cappella. So I did do, I was in a group called the Whiff and Poofs, which was, it's a fairly
I think I've heard
well-known group. Actually the year after I graduated, they were on a TV show called The Sing Off. So that's how I feel like a lot of people know who they are. But that was a very cool experience. I got to music direct, and I got to tour the world doing that, which was really cool. In terms of musical theater, I really got into music directing. I did a lot of things behind the scenes, developed my skills as a music director, which I loved, and I loved working with actors. But yeah, I didn't really get to perform a lot, which I think I realized after I graduated. I'm like, I miss that. I need to go do that again. And so it's been, since I graduated, kind of to this day, a lifelong kind of back and forth between behind the scenes, on stage, what do I want, what am I doing? But it's kept things really interesting for me. And I've gotten to do a lot of different capacities around theater, which has been great. It's given me an appreciation for all sides of the business.
Yeah, it's kind of like we don't have to choose necessarily.
Right.
It's like, oh, you can do whatever you want at whatever time you want.
And I feel like nowadays I'm meeting way more people that are that way. You don't have to pigeonhole yourself into one element of the business, even though sometimes it can feel that way. But I feel like theater programs now encourage people
100%,
to be more inclusive in the way they approach their role in the business. I don't think it was necessarily that way when I was in school. So it's refreshing to see that.
Yeah, no, at school they're making us do everything sometimes.
Great, good.
So yeah, I definitely know how that has changed, I guess. And with finishing up Cabaret recently, can you talk a bit about that experience? You were a prologue musician, which was a very cool experience. Because I saw the original kind of revival cast on Broadway, and I remember I was like, I'm gonna get there so early. I'm also not legal, so like I couldn't take the shot. So they were like, dude, I was like, no, I can't, sorry.
Well,
but you know, got the experience of
good.
putting the little sticker on my phone and going through.
Did they card you at the door?
I don't even know actually.
You
but
probably,
I was,
you could have taken that shot.
I don't drink anyway. It's okay.
Great. it wasn't a good shot anyway. It's like peach schnapps or something.
But like it was kind of just the experience, I think, that really made this show special, and having that, like, how long was it? Maybe like an hour, hour and a half of the prologue.
At the beginning, it was 75 minutes.
Yeah. I think I was there the whole time, to be so honest.
Yeah.
And it was so cool to see the August Wilson kind of transformed. I had seen different shows in that theater, and to see it totally go to something different was overwhelming and amazing.
Yeah.
And so talk a bit about like that show, because you also played the MC at a different, like in a different production. So I can, you know, it seems like this show is very special to you.
It is.
And so what did that experience mean to you, and how has that show kind of shaped how you see yourself as an artist?
Cabaret is just, I mean, in my opinion, it is the best musical theater show ever written, I believe. And I'll say every time, I feel like it's come back into my life several times and has kind of saved me in many ways, like wherever I've been in my life, in my headspace, in my career. It's turned things around for me a lot. So the first time I worked, I was obsessed with the Alan Cumming soundtrack.
I feel like we all are.
So I wore out that soundtrack when I was in high school, just listening to it over and over and over and over again. It was just so visceral, and you saw people like, it was not that kind of pretty, perfect musical theater world. It was very gritty, and I had never experienced anything like that before. So I was obsessed. And so I wanted to, in college, I wanted to music direct it. So I did that. It was my first time, you know, music directing a kind of bigger hit orchestra too, which was really cool. And then in 2018, a regional house put out a call for MC. And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? I haven't acted in a couple of years, but I would love to. Why not? I'll try. Worst that can happen is I don't get it. And then I got it. And it really reignited. I had done a few little regional community things like between graduating and this. It really just reignited performing for me. And I fell in love with it all over again. I quit a lot of jobs to just get back into auditioning. In 2019, I booked a few things. Like I had a tour. I booked a cruise ship, and then everything shut down.
Oh.
You know, yeah. But I'm glad that I had made that shift before everything shut down, because I got the experience getting into the audition rooms again, and yeah, it was great. So when I saw this audition for Broadway come up, I was like, oh, sure, why not? And they were specifically looking for actor musicians for this prologue. And so I just submitted Google form. Honestly, I submitted it a day late.
Oh no.
So I didn't go in for an audition. Like they didn't have me, so I kind of forgot about it. I was about to go out on a cruise ship. And then I got another tape request, because they were looking for the swing role. They had cast their 4 musicians, and they needed someone that could swing a couple of the musician parts, and I had the instrumentation that they needed. So I was like, okay, sure, yeah, I'll do it. I did a tape. 24 hours later, they called me in for a live audition. I went in. 24 hours later, I booked the job.
My gosh.
So it was a crazy, like sometimes it takes so long. And then sometimes it takes 2 seconds, and you never know, and you're never prepared either way. So
no, exactly.
it was absolutely an insane experience. You know, I had to tell the cruise ship, sorry. They were very supportive of me. You know, the agent for the cruise ship, like again, became almost like a second dad to me, which was really cool. So he was very proud of me.
You're like, do it.
Yeah. So it was really awesome to be able to do that. And then the process itself, you know, Cabaret as a show has existed since the 1960s, but the prologue was an immersive experience that they were building from the ground up. They had it in London, but our space at the August Wilson Theater was just a lot bigger. So they had a lot more opportunities to play with what they were doing. And so we worked directly with a composer working on this fusion of like Eastern European klezmer music with like techno club beats. It was wild.
Yeah.
The cast was absolutely insane. It was a mix of actor musicians, who I think are the best people in the world. I always will say that. It's always yes, yes, yes. How can you make things happen? And then we had like authentic klezmer musicians who had never done theater before.
Oh my gosh.
And then we had dancers who were mostly commercial and street dancers. Not everyone was making their Broadway debut. None of them were particularly branded as like musical theater dancers. So it was this insane melding of, gosh, I got like emotional thinking about just like these kinds of art forms that you don't necessarily always see represented on a stage as big as a Broadway stage. So it was just lightning in a bottle. You know, we got to create these parts together. I was a swing, so I was kind of sitting there and I had to cover this klezmer clarinet player.
Gosh.
So I'm like listening to him and I'm like, well, I did high school band and I did one actor musician show with the clarinet. We're gonna give this our go. And you know, the composer and the team was so supportive of me too. You know, just they were always made sure to be like, you know, whatever your version of the show is, that's fantastic, and we're gonna work on that. Because I was like, I don't know. So I came up with something that I was really proud of. The point being that, you know, I got to work with these insane musicians, which was super cool. And then I also covered a piano / upright bass track, which I'm a pianist by trade, had never played the upright bass before. Can play a little bit of cello, you know, so which I'm doing in this show, which is really cool, but I had never, so I had to learn how to play bass on the job, which was really cool.
I think we have a little theme here of the instrument and
a lot of instruments.
Musical skill.
Yeah. So it was a really, really cool experience because none of the music existed. We kind of all created it ourselves. So having that kind of ownership over a piece, it's also immersive. So the audience is, as you saw, like literally we're up here, I'm getting up in people's faces.
Yeah.
It's really cool to be able to clock everyone's reactions this close to you.
Was there anything like super crazy that ever happened? Was it mostly okay and chill?
Well, you know, they give you a shot as soon as you come in. Some people got very drunk because it's a 75-minute show and people are just, you know, so.
And there's obviously the bar right there. Well, multiple bars.
So like mostly everyone was very, like 95% of the time people were respectful and really excited to be there. 5% of the time, you know, you'll get people saying things that I'm just like,
oh goodness.
I'm one of those performers though that like, I sometimes just lock in and people can be saying things and I'm just like, you know, I kind of tune a lot of it out. So I didn't really get as many crazy stories as some other people, but.
Yeah, because when you do get into immersive territory, it can get a little interesting, I think is the word that we can use for that. It's people are right here, you don't know these people, but it's like we're all sharing this experience together. So oh man, that was such a fun day of seeing Cabaret. Obviously, you got to relive it every single day, sometimes twice.
It was my first time swinging too, so that was
oh my gosh,
a new experience for me as well, which it's hard. It's hard to not do it every day. You know, you have to constantly be working on the upkeep, not knowing when you're going to be going. A lot of the times I knew a couple weeks in advance which days I was going to be on, but you never know when you were going to show up, and it was like, okay, go. So yeah, it was fun. It was fun but it was also fun to not have just one track and just
keeps it interesting.
Yeah. So you get to fall in love with different elements of different tracks, which is cool. So yeah, I love Cabaret. I thought this production was absolutely mind-boggling because you know so many people do love the Alan Cumming version of it. So how do you revive something and make it new? And I think they really did that. It was so different from Alan Cumming in a way that I think a lot of people were extremely uncomfortable with. But then I'm like, well, then you're doing it right.
Exactly.
You're defying people's expectations. Why else do a revival?
Yeah, no, there has to be a driving force behind it, you know, just bringing us forward in society and culture. And yeah, the show was so cool. It was my first time seeing like a live production of Cabaret.
Yeah.
Like I'd seen the movie. I don't know if I remembered that much from it.
So different.
It is very
so different.
Yeah. And like I'd seen some videos and things over the years and just kind of absorbed some of the music, some like not even really knowing maybe.
Yeah.
And then you get there and you're like, oh, this is what that's about. Okay, like let's see what's happening here.
It's so dark, and I don't think people know that. People are like, oh, it's it's about showgirls. Oh, that's fun. And then it's actually about Nazis, and they're like,
yeah.
So you had people. It struck people.
Oh yes.
Every night.
Yeah.
So I was happy to be a part of that. I think the prologue really helped set people up for a huge drop, honestly, which I think made the impact of the show even heavier.
Yeah.
Because you leave prologue just thinking like, oh my God, life is amazing.
Is beautiful.
Like life is like it's so. Because like the prologue, we're basically playing sex workers, with instruments and dancing, but it's all about like sensuality and all sexuality and just openness and just connection, and then it drops you, devastates you.
Yeah. No, that's so beautiful. I think, obviously it's still running in London, and
well, they have jobs. Oh.
It lives on. At least the production is living on with Reva and Eva, which is amazing. I've been to London once, and just the theater over there too is so fun, and to see it like kind of go everywhere and expose so many different people to this story is really important and amazing. But now let's talk a little bit about Lizard Boy.
So now I'm on my own, better to be alone, better for me alone, delete you off my phone, my heart is made of stone, my brightest heart is shown, so don't come back, is there no need to atone? I'll say sayonara to you, the last I'm thinking of you, the last I'm thinking of you, and I will never love you, there's so much more above you, and I've just had enough. You don't want me, I don't want you, but that's not true.
So you were an associate music director for the show Off-Broadway a couple years ago, and now you're the star. So when did you know that this show was for you, and what has it been like going from behind the table to center stage?
I had not heard of this show before 2023 when I worked on it. Full disclosure, I auditioned to be the understudy for the Off-Broadway show, and I didn't get it. So I was pretty heartbroken about that. But I knew that it was a role that I needed to play someday, and that I was going to play it someday. Yes. I didn't know when. Yeah. Because I was flabbergasted at how I don't know how you feel as an Asian American person in the business. It's a constant like, what's my place in this business,
Yes.
I feel like, we don't see a ton of Asian American or Asian stories represented on stage. So to see one that was written by an Asian American person about, for all intents and purposes, being an Asian American person, being specifically a queer Asian American person.
Yeah.
And what it's like to navigate, and feeling like an outsider navigating, in this case, specifically like queer culture. Yeah. What does that mean? I couldn't believe how much I resonated with the role. I didn't feel like I'd ever, aside from like the MC in Cabaret, I don't feel like I'd ever seen a role and been like, that's me. Like, so. Yeah. On top of that, just the musical elements of it he has to play cello. Cello, like how many shows have cello in it?
Yeah.
I've played cello, had guitar, you know, which I had picked up during the pandemic. I was like, okay, I can do that. But also just the storytelling behind it. I was like, hadn't felt so seen in a show before. And then you watch other people experience this show, and I feel like the impact that it has specifically on Asian people is really deep, and you can kind of feel that every time you put this show. I mean, we saw it off Broadway, and then I feel it here in the house every night too. And it's even people that aren't Asian or queer, like it's about feeling different. It's about feeling not good enough, which I think is an American epidemic, you know, of feeling like constantly our worth is so based on like what, you know, like our assets and our, you know, like what we can contribute, and, you know, basically the capitalistic machine. It makes us all feel like loners and outsiders, and no matter what that is for people. So it's been hugely impactful. And so to watch someone like Justin write a piece like that from personal experience, especially personal experience of feeling unseen, and then to be so seen for it, and that it has had a life now of 10 years, and it's only picking up more momentum, and people are doing this show. It used to be just him and his colleagues doing the show, and now we're seeing other productions of it pop up, which is amazing. So, yeah, I mean, I knew the second I saw the audition material for the off-Broadway, I was like, I need to be a part of this. So, you know, I had worked with that production team before, and they, you know, I did not book the understudy. Milo Marami, he booked the he's amazing. So he plays this role as well. He's fantastic. But the production company offered me a spot on the music team, because I had worked with them as an actor, but also as a music director before. And I was like, yes, yes, please, I want to work on this. And so I got to meet Justin and work with him and the original cast members and the original director. It's completely magical. It was life-changing.
Yeah. No, I think
in a lot of ways.
It's the thing of like trusting the process and the timing. Because now here we are. Like maybe you didn't book as an understudy off Broadway, but like now you get to lead it here in Boston and bring it to a whole new set of people who have never seen this before, since it's the premiere in Boston. And just so amazing, like you said, to see Asian people resonating with a story like this, or queer Asian people who, when have we ever seen this before? I don't know. I wish I knew. I wish there was more. But it's so important. And I remember, because I was an intern over the summer, and so I got to like, you know, see read all the things and all the shows, and kind of get to know all the stories for the new season. And I was like, Asian show, great.
Yes.
Like maybe not necessarily like stating that it's Asian, but it's inherent and it's a fact. And like, that's it.
Yeah.
We don't really have to say anything else. And so I remember reading that, and I was like, that's so beautiful and impactful, and something that I can't wait to see. And yeah, so now to just see it go from the page all the way to where we are now, so cool. Especially since I only read it.
Right.
And didn't like see anything.
And it's a crazy story. I mean, reading it on the script is like,
You're
what?
Like, that happened?
Okay, all right. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite like song or just moment in the show?
Yeah, I do. It's the Whoa song. I feel like obviously everyone loves a love duet in a show, like the romantic ballad song, and in this one it's just so beautiful. Like with each song that comes, Trevor's insecurities and his, you know, sense of like less than zero self-worth just get peeled back and back and back. And then like he's trusting people and he's letting people in over the course of the show. And I feel like the vulnerability in that particular song, plus it's just beautiful. Like the orchestration, like it's got the cello in it doing these beautiful lines, and there's something so symbiotic about it. That's my favorite song in the show.
Yeah. And, you know, we were talking about how unique the show is and how it utilizes like cast as musicians, actor musicians. And like, I feel like we've seen shows before where it's like the actors are playing instruments, but usually not multiple. And not to this extent where they're the only ones playing the instruments and there's only 3 people.
Right.
So what has it been like kind of crafting the musical world of the show, like whether it be in the room or finding it again, like out on stage every night?
Well, luckily I was on the music team for the Off-Broadway, so I already kind of knew how a lot of it works, although this version has quite a few new pieces in it than when I worked on it. But I was lucky enough to be able to watch them in the room make it all happen. Like, how does this guitar appear out of nowhere? Where's the cello like come from? Who's doing that? Who's doing this? And a lot of it, you know, my castmates are amazing musicians too. So like Peter, who's playing Carrie, he drives like 90% of the show with his guitar playing. And then Chelsea, she's on piano a lot, and then she's picking up this percussion instrument, that ukulele, and just like, I feel like her touches are kind of finishing out like, so that it's not just like, just a guitar, you know? So it's all about that relationship, and just knowing that things are gonna come in, even if you can't see them, or even though you know there's no pit or anything. I know I've worked on a couple of other actor-musician shows too, and I think there's something so magical. The Hello Girls is another one that I think is just absolutely magical. But it's the same sort of situation where what you see on stage, they are making the music. It's very cool.
Yeah, no, it transforms it into something else. And then I was there like the day that there was like a little technical difficulty. And I remember Lindsay coming up and she was like, we might have to do this unplugged. And I was like, that would be fun too. Like, let's go for it. And you know, it's live theater. That like things like that honestly just make it more exciting. And so to see like all the tracking in this show is so complicated, and knowing where everything has to be at what moment, and then who's picking up what I feel like that my brain can't even take it. I think it just like explodes. But
no, we spent half of our rehearsal process being like, which guitar stand does it have to go to? And because there are 2 guitars in the show too, like which guitar are we picking up?
Oh my gosh. And all the percussion and things, and
it's everywhere.
It's
very cool though, you know, and it sets it. You know, it creates a good look too for a rock musical.
No, and like working with the Violet, like who's also Taiwanese. I'm Taiwanese.
Oh, amazing.
So
my piano teacher in college was Taiwanese
oh my
too.
God. Yeah, Taiwanese. But like to have also just another fellow like Asian music director in the room. What was that like? Getting to work together.
She is amazing. Did you get to meet her?
I didn't, but I know like someone who goes to my school now for the MFA program. They're friends. And
she's pretty new to Boston as well. She was in New York for a number of years, but she just moved here. So she's definitely gonna have a big career here. I can feel she's impeccable. Like, you know, I'm a music director too, and you know, so is Peter. But like, her ear just hears everything. She knows when that cello is like a fraction of a cent like under the pitch. And so like during previews it was funny. I'd be tuning the cello and I'd be looking out and she's like but she's just like a extremely polished technician. Also she went to school for acting too, so she's an actor, which was, I feel like I hadn't worked with a lot of music directors that are also actors, and so her perspective on like how to like enhance the storytelling while doing all these, I don't know, your brain can be in 8 million different places. I'm like trying to act, but I'm also like, is my finger in the right place? I don't know. So she was really great about helping us navigate. Oh, it's not just like the story stops for a minute because I'm trying to figure out what string I'm playing on. Like, how do we keep everything going really organically? So yeah, it was great. She and Lindsay are a fantastic duo. So yeah, grateful to work with her. She's amazing.
Yeah. Oh man, thinking of like singing, acting, and playing an instrument at the same time, that kind of again breaks my brain. As someone who does not really play like any instruments very well, I can play very simple piano. That's it. I'm like, oh my god, it's just even trying to like play a ukulele and sing. You're like, what's my hand doing? What's my mouth? Like, what am I doing? So it's so impressive, and I just can't believe that you guys do it every night. And I know how important to them it was to have like a Trevor who could play the cello well, and like how, you know, important that was to include in the show, because it again, it's like, it's Justin's kind of touch on the show of like being very personal, and you know, you have all the skills that were needed. So it's like, okay, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Now we're here. And so what does representation mean to you? Just it could be in general, or about the show, or just existing.
I don't know, it's so affirming to see yourself on stage in a way that's big and like, like in commercial theater and commercial TV, all that kind of stuff, to be able to see something that just resonates with you instantly. I mean, I grew up, showing my age here. I was, in my tweens and teens in the early 2000s, which as a time for representation, especially in like, I don't know, you're seeing entirely white-led movies and pop culture, white-led rom-coms, things like that. As someone who's a POC, whether you're conscious of it or not, I don't even know that you're necessarily even conscious of that when you're 12, 13. Yeah. It does something to you, like, oh, I don't see myself here. Okay, maybe movies, like, whether you're saying it out loud, even thinking it out loud, some part of your brain is like, oh, I'll never be a romantic lead in a movie. I'll never, on top of that, you don't see an Asian male being considered like the romantic lead in a movie. What's that gonna do to you? Like, outside of the theater world, it's like, oh, I guess I'm not desirable. Like, I'm not lovable. I'm not that. And I feel like Lizard Boy is literally all about that. Justin and I are similar ages, so I think he grew up with this, seeing the same things that I'm seeing. And so to write a piece that comes out of that, I mean, even you talk about Cabaret, like I saw it in 2014 when it was revived on Broadway. And this was the production that I loved so much. Like, they remounted it with pretty much entirely white cast. And it was even actor music, like some of the Kit Kats were playing. So I think at that point I knew, I was like, that's not right.
Yeah.
And, I that's you're talking pre-Hamilton Broadway too. I think, I mean, Hamilton, however you feel about it, I think did so much.
That was what got me into theater as like and I had seen things like Wicked before and other things, and that didn't make me jump to theater. It was Hamilton. Yeah.
I think me too. It coincided with me being like, oh, I can do this. Like this could be a career path for me, because it was just people. It was a POC creating something that he wanted to see. His story represented in, so it's just representation. I feel like the best examples of it are people who haven't seen their stories and just write that, and then you just have to make it. Yeah. Because otherwise, you can't just wait for someone else to do it. I mean, I got lucky with this show that to see myself so clearly in a show. But what if he hadn't written Lizard Boy?
Maybe you would.
Written Lizard Boy, yeah.
And maybe there's a possibility for it.
Maybe there is.
There's always more things that could
our versions of it are.
Yeah.
So, that's an element of performing and being an artist that I want to delve into more, is what kind of stories to tell. I don't know yet, but I think that's the only way we're going to see the stories that really resonate with people that do come to the theater and are like, oh, that's not me.
Mm-hmm.
That's cute. That's cool. That's cute. That's funny. It's not me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you just like resonating so much, even just with Cabaret, with a mostly all-white cast.
Yeah.
If you can do that, other people can find the same thing in our stories.
Yeah.
And, you know, now we are seeing obviously Asian Sally Bowles, Black Sally Bowles, you know, so many different people playing
Amazing.
all these beloved characters that mean so much, and just opening it up to so many more people. Because
Yeah.
we can all do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not limited anymore.
Yeah.
You know, no matter what.
It's really cool.
Yeah, no, it is really cool. And I mean, to have this show and Kim's like right next door, that's pretty awesome.
I know. It's like, what?
I didn't even think about that until now, but it's like, now we have Kim's and Lizard Boy playing at the same time. Where Asians are taking over the Calderwood. I think that's just like what's happening here.
Thank God, thank God.
And I can't wait to see Kim's on Sunday.
Yeah.
But it's like we're here and we're not going anywhere. And, you know, us doing this will inspire other people to do it and see themselves and not even have that thought as a kid of like, oh, I can't do that. It's like, no, yeah, you can. It's like if we just keep doing it, maybe someday it won't be as much of a problem. So like,
I'm just trying to think of like, if I had seen Lizard Boy when I was in middle school.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
it would have changed everything.
Life-changing.
Yeah. If I'd seen something like, you know, maybe Happy Ending or Here Lies Love or K-pop like, you know, 10 years ago or something, it's like that would have really changed my life, I think. And changed how you see yourself and you know, knowing that you have a place. So just the most important thing again, like you said, when we got into theater, we don't think about maybe our Asianness as much. It's something that is kind of thrust upon us. Then you have to care eventually because it does affect you. But it's like when we get into this, it's for very pure reasons as a kid or whatever. And then, you know, now it's like we have a little bit of a responsibility to show up and be there. So, you know, we will be here. But what do you hope the audiences take from Lizard Boy?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's just about self-reflection. It's about really digging in and seeing what parts of yourself have you been neglecting or trying to hide or trying to suppress because you think other people won't like you for it. When actually, if you just let all those things out, you're going to find the kind of love and community that you want. It's ultimately about fear and how you address it, and that it is your responsibility to address it. You know, you can live in a world that's unfair. You can live in a world where situations are thrust upon you. But it's up to you to show up, and it's up to you to recognize your power and what you want and how you're going to get it, and also to accept help from people that, you know, and how to create trustful relationships with people through vulnerability. Oh my God, it's got it all. It has everything in it. It's like all the things that you need to hear, you know?
But yes, it does.
Yeah.
It really does. And I remember feeling that when I was reading it, and I felt it again when I finally got to see it. It's like, this is everything that we've kind of been missing for a while.
It's such a wild show. You hear like, oh, queer superhero grinder show. You're like, oh, it must be super over the top and like crazy and hilarious and maybe a little scary, which it's true. It is all of those things. And then it'll just slap you in the face with like something so emotionally raw and so vulnerable that like you never would have expected coming to a show like this. So I think it catches people off guard in an amazing way. people are crying in here all the time.
I'm sure.
Which,
yeah.
like, I don't think people would expect coming to a show called Lizard Boy. Like, what? Isn't it like fantasy? Isn't it,
Yeah.
you know? And it's, it is and it isn't, you know? It uses those tools to really dig into things that are so human through this character that's, you know, quasi not human. Yeah, or at least he thinks of himself as not being it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's reclaiming the power and
Yeah.
your identity and who you are and owning it, which I think is, you know, it's a ever existing kind of thing that everyone's always talking about, but it's always so true. It's like you really do have so much power and agency over your own story and who you are and who you want to be. And so it's like, who could ever get sick of hearing that?
Well, Trevor is also just he likes to blame other people and other situations for his problems, which might be true. But blaming other people for things is not ultimately how you're going to live the kind of life that you want to live deep down. And so that's really the story that he's telling. That's really what he's trying to get past. And he gets called out for that. He's never been called out for that before, you know? So it's huge. It's huge.
Yeah, no, it's stepping into the forefront and really taking ownership over your own life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Keiji, it's been so nice talking to you. Do you have like, you know, anything you want to share? Any like social media, whatever? Kind of plug yourself right now if people want to continue to follow your journey.
Sure. I have a website. I have Instagram. So if you want to follow me, I'm at Heart in a Cage, Keij, Heart in a Cage. Yeah, and I'm usually just updating what I'm up to there. So yeah, this has been really wonderful. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm just so happy that this show's kind of introduced Boston audiences to you. And so we'll just continue to support you, and everyone should go see Lizard Boy, running till I don't remember when, but
The
halfway.
22nd.
22nd. We're halfway through. Well, please go see it here and come see this awesome set. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope you have an amazing day. You've been listening to Broadway Corner with Ashley Haw. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you next time.